Welcome to DEMOCREPUBLIX, where we cover the real news that matter to we the people. CNN host Don Lemon demonizes black pastor who won't call Trump racist. PJ Media reports that on Tuesday evening, CNN's host Don Lemon spoke with Reverend Bill Owens, founder of the Coalition of African American Pastors, CAAP, or CAP. Owens had met with Trump earlier that day, yet it quickly became clear Lemon had no intention of learning anything about the meeting. Lemon, seemingly obsessed with Trump's recent tweets attacking Representative Eli Cummings, pressured the pastor to talk about the Cummings tweets, something Owens considered irrelevant. After Owens resolutely refused to condemn Trump as a racist, Lemon launched into personal attacks against him. What did the president say about his attacks against these leaders of color, and did anything of the faith leaders raise concerns about that? Lemon began. Quote, "Well, I think something was said in passing. I don't tune into negative talk from any side," Owens responded. "I took the position that we as black pastors should go down to Baltimore and see what we can do to help." He said he grew up in a 2-room house, no water, no lights, so I know poverty. Yet again, the CNN anchor asked, did anybody there raise concerns about what he said, what he's been saying lately about people like Elijah Cummings or anyone? Well, that was not the purpose of the meeting today. Today, the meeting was how can we help the black community? That is my concern, and that was the purpose of the meeting. That was the reason I came to Washington, and that is my focus, helping other inner city young people, especially our children, our young people, the pastor said. Lemon then noted President Trump's tweet about the meeting and asked, any concern for you that the president used his meeting with black leaders to insulate himself from that of criticism? I don't think so, Owen said. I don't think that at all, because I've been to the White House 4 times in 5 months. So there was nothing about insulating him from anything. He wanted to hear from us what our concerns were and what he could do to help us. Perhaps Trump just cares about the black community and wants to help black Americans succeed, but no, that can't be right because he's a racist, right? Yeah, I agree with that. Every time Trump does anything, they're quick to call him a racist. I mean, anything. If he criticizes anyone of color, if he says anything contrary to the Democrats party line, they call him a racist on anything. They always got these ad hominem attacks because they can't attack him on policy because his policies are actually helping the black community. So they do these ad hominem attacks where if he criticizes anyone or say anything, they automatically call him a racist, but they can't point to any occurrence of actual racism just off of something he might tweet or he might say on TV. They automatically call it racist, but they can't point to any particular policy that's actually racist. I go off of actions, not off of what someone actually says, and they can't point to any action, any actionable racism. But the article goes on to continue and says that and Pastor, you've said some controversial things before. In 2012, you equated President Obama's support of same-sex marriage to supporting child molestation. You later walked that back, but that in itself is an outrageous statement, the CNN anchor said. Why should anyone take you seriously? See, they're attacking him already because he's not coming at Trump like they want him to. You see how slick Don Lemon is? Taken aback by the insinuation, Owens responded, I have never said that. I had a difference with Obama about same-sex marriage. I've never mentioned a child. Never, never, never. If I did, find it. You see how they just make stuff up? You see how I call him Don Lemonhead. You see how Don Lemonhead just makes stuff up? He just this man never said anything about child. He just disagreed with same-sex marriage, which a lot of people disagree with. You know what I'm saying? And now, because he disagreed with it, he want to throw the child thing in there and said that they're like all gay people are child rapists or something like that. You see that insinuation? More ad hominem attacks. Whenever they don't agree with someone, they always hit them and attack people's character. because they can't attack them. They can't attack them on policy or anything like that. So they have to do these character assassinations. But the article goes on to say that Lemon referenced a report from CNN's Dan Marcia, which quoted the pastor as comparing child molestation to Obama's support for same-sex marriage. The report acknowledged, however, that Owens walked those comments back, saying he didn't think the president was condoning molestation. It appears the pastor thought Lemon was suggesting he accused Obama of being a child molester. As a matter of fact, the president is a gentleman, Owens said. The only thing I disagree with President Obama on was same-sex marriage. That's the only thing. Then the reporters tried to get me to go into other avenues, and I would not do it because I feel same-sex marriage was ungodly. Then, having undermined Owens' credibility, the CNN anchor pivoted back to Trump's alleged racism. I know it's hard for you. You think it's hard to believe that Trump is racist, but he's repeatedly used racial charged language. He consistently attacks black and brown elected leaders. So why is that hard to believe, Pastor Lemon asked. So Trump don't attack just black and brown people. Trump attacks anyone that comes at him. Just because they happen to be black doesn't mean anything. You know what I'm saying? Cummins came at him. So he basically hit Cummins and was like, hey, instead of worried about what's going on with at the border, won't you worry about what's going on with your district? Oh, that's racist. Oh, that's racist. How is that racist? Look at what's going on in Baltimore. Baltimore is basically a war zone, and he's right, is rat infested. In fact, we know from clips from, I think it was 1995, Cummins himself called it drug infested. So is Cummins racist? You know what I'm saying? It's just ridiculous. But the article goes on to say, well, I find President Trump leaders of all colors. What do you say? I'm sorry. Well, I find President Trump leaders of all colors. He attacks who he will. He's his own man, and I can't dictate what he should or should not do. But he does not just attack black people. He attacks anybody, and you know it. Owens replied, exactly. Like I just said, he attacks anybody that comes at him. It doesn't matter what the color is. Faced with the clear fact that Trump does not attack politicians based on their politics, not their race, Lemon tried another angle. He suggested that the pastor's remarks constituted an endorsement of political attacks. So as a man of faith, as a Christian, you're saying he attacks anyone. It sounds like you're condoning attacks. Is that Christianly or godly? The anchor asked. I mean, that just angers me so bad. Like, they quick to throw religion in it. But just because you criticize someone or quote unquote attack someone, it's ungodly. Didn't Jesus told us to defend ourselves? It says it in the Bible. Those who can't protect their family is worse than an infidel. So if someone attacks you or attacks your family or criticizes you or criticizes your family, you have a right to defend yourself. There's nothing wrong with defending yourself. But the article goes on to say, what a disgusting question. Owens had already said that Trump is his own man, and I can't dictate what he should and should not do. He was not condoning the attacks, not at all, and Lemon knew it. Damn Don Lemonhead. Quote, I'm just stating a statement of fact. I'm not condoning anything, Owens replied. President Trump does not pick the people he attacks because of color. He attacks anyone he feels needs it. And is that okay with you? The CNN anchor asked, as if we're totally oblivious to the plain meaning of the pastor's word. Well, I'm not his judge. I've been attacked. Let me tell you something, Owens began. He described the attacks he received when he started recruiting black students for a seminary. Some critics asked him, why are you down in a white man's school? What does that have to do with this president? Lemon asked. I was criticized then, and I'm criticized now, directly and indirectly, for meeting the president, Owens said, summarizing the interview. He insisted that he has worked with all presidents on his agenda, helping inner city kids succeed. The black pastor was 100% correct on Trump. He did not attack the squad or Cummins because he's some kind of racist, targeting people of color. These Democrats have repeatedly and routinely slammed Trump and federal immigration enforcement agencies. It is arguably that Rep. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez concentration camps attacked on ICE inspired a terrorist attack. Trump's attacks may have gone too far, and Owens did not endorse them. He merely pointed out that the attacks had to do with politics, not race. Perhaps more importantly, the pastor reinforced Trump's intent to help the black community. He met with black pastors 4 times in the past 5 months. This isn't a smokescreen to insulate himself from criticism. It's a genuine concern on the part of the president. So because the president meeting with these pastors, they're trying to make it like he's trying to cover, because he's getting hit with these racist attacks. When the pastor himself even said that he's been meeting with the president for months now, so it has nothing to do with these racist attacks. And this is, I'm tired of this race baiting stuff. The Democrats need to just stop. And if there's nothing wrong with criticizing Trump, but when y'all keep throwing these racist stuff on him, y'all are losing. I don't understand why they don't see that. They're losing by these ad hominem attacks on President Trump. Like I said, I think they're doing it because they know they can't argue policy, because his policies is clearly working. Aside from I say time and time again, I disagree with Trump's stance on war, because he ran as an anti-war candidate, and we still over there in Syria supposedly fighting ISIS, but we're actually backing ISIS, and that's the only thing that I disagree with Trump with. But they're acting like he's they can't attack it. Like I said, they can't attack his policy, so they try to hit him with these character assassinations. But let me know what you think. Leave your comments below. Like, share, and subscribe, and check out DEMOCREPUBLIX.com for the latest in news. Until next time. We living on a real nightmare. We living on a real nightmare.